Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3, and today I'm going to be giving you part 4 of What If Naruto Was Half Kryptonian and Half Saiyan. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also guys, remember to stick around for the rest of what ifs coming your way over in Anime King and Anime King 2. Yes, that's right guys, if you're new I did have 3 channels. Anime King and Making 2 and Making 3, which I post what if on every single day. Yes, that's correct. Every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And also remember to go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was an Outcast Uchiha in the time of the Saiyans over Anime King 2, which I do hope that you guys enjoy. And don't forget to turn on the bell notification to see exactly when I post. So without further ado, what do you say we jump right into this new episode? Begin the intro. So the last spot we left off, we had begun with Orochimaru as he was performing some nefarious experiment on someone. As things were going well with his findings of the crystal shards, not to mention he was finding out some things that got him quite interested. But not only that, we then skipped on to the fight between Naruto and the War Beasts. Yujiro was in shock as she couldn't believe what she was witnessing. She has never seen a genin before handle someone like this. She always knew that Naruto was not normal by any means, but this was just beyond her expectation. The War Beast had much more build and strength over Naruto, which he proceeded to flaunt by dropping all of that on Naruto at once. It was then that Naruto was going to be knocked out cold as his eyes rolled back in his head, but there was a voice in his head telling him to stop holding back. For years upon years his mother told him not to truly fight the kids at the academy because he might end up hurting them, as Naruto had put a mental block on himself. But as he fought the War Beast, a grin came on his face. As he felt so excited, he started to lose control. Yujiro watched as green flickers started to appear on Naruto. For a moment their hair seemed to turn green as well. Or perhaps it was a flicker of green around him. He then proceeded to throw fists to the War Beast once again, and the War Beast was shocked when his hand made contact with Naruto's, and instead of him punching the kid's head clean off, Naruto ripped his arm out of his socket. As Naruto proceeded to fly and slam a fist into his gut, the War Beast's fist cracked in Naruto's face. Blood rushed down Naruto's face, but his hand had cleanly cut right through the War Beast's stomach and his chest area, as the man dropped dead. His flankists thought that this was the best opportunity to end Naruto's life, as they threw kunais, but it bounced off his skin. He turned and released a laser from his eyes and sliced them up. As Yujiro watched him, as she was a bit afraid, he made his way to the top of the cliff as he yelled, releasing his frustration as he passed out. Yujiro came over as she brought him back to Konoha. Tsunade was at the village, as she was going through with another listing of marriage proposal that was placed on her son already. But just like how was done for her by the people in her past, to not determine her fate by the others, and allow her to choose who to fall in love with, that was Dan. She would do the same for Naruto as well. She would not force anyone on him, and she would be stopping anyone from laying claims on him as well. With him being her son, there was a lot of people out there in the world that wanted to claim him, but she would not just hand him over like that. It was then that she got the news from the Anvil. Tsunade proceeded to rip off the door when she arrived towards the hospital. As she entered said room, the thought of Naoki and Dan coming into her mind, but Naruto was fine, just unconscious. As Yujiro then proceeded to explain, Tsunade figured that it was time. When Naruto woke up, she told him to follow her. She then shocked him by telling him that he was not her blood-related son. Now that came to Naruto as a shock, as she made him meet his real mother. As Naruto learned a lot about himself that day, he was rather surprised. He was not basically human, he was half Kryptonian, half Saiyan. Laura told him how to meet his real father, but Naruto was not ready for that yet. He didn't know why he felt nervous, but he was just finding out about the Kryptonian side that his mother told him about. He wasn't sure he was ready for the Saiyan side yet, so he did not use the crystal as she said. Not to mention, he would have to find a location that was wide enough and barren so people would not try to intrude. But still, it was a lot to take in. He then proceeded to hug Tsunade and told her that she was still his mother, despite not being blood related, as he loved her no matter what. As she hugged him back, as Naruto wanted to tell the people that he cared about his secrets, especially his sensei as well. He was hanging out with Sakura as she said that she was going on a C-rank mission. The sensei finally approved it for next week. As he told her that he couldn't tell her yet, but he showed her his new abilities that he recently acquired. She also helped him, and he was able to use breath from his mouth that was able to freeze a little water in front of him. He was grateful for her help, as she was also coming along great with her Banshee scream. As it didn't just make her scream powerful, it also made her stronger as well, and also faster as well. As she was coming along greatly, so was he. The both of them were real close friends. So yeah guys, basically that's what I thought. If you guys can switch across the please check it out for yourself. And yes, without wasting any more time, what do you say we just leap right into this new episode, guys? We begin this in the Raikage's office, as someone stood there. The person had dark skin, white hair, a sword strapped to his back. He was in the standard Jonin uniform of the hidden village of the clouds. His name was Darui. As he looked towards his boss who sat in a chair, the Raikage, a man that literally is the definition of power. Just by a mere glance you could see that. He had dull blonde hair that was combed back into sections. He was wearing his white coat, his chest and his stomach exposed. Massive bracers on his arms, weights to be exact, and black pants as well. At the moment though, he had a small red book in his arm. As he was looking over the content of said book, as he glanced towards a photo, a child no more older than 13 years old was on that photo. His face locked in a serious form. No smirk, no smile. Name, Naruto Senju, aka Superboy. As the Raikage read the contents of said book, rank, B, possible A. Affiliation, the Hidden Leaf, bounty reward, dead or alive. 15 million Ryu. Clan, Senju Clan. Son of Tsunade Senju. Known abilities, able to produce flames from his eyes, able to cool down anything with a simple breath. Strength, almost as powerful, or if not as powerful, as Mother Tsunade Senju. Approach with caution, seemingly indestructible. Kunais and shurikens will not, seeming to be unable to pierce his skin. The collection bounty center, any section in or pass. Ton no Kuni. The Raikage smirked at that, as he found it really amusing. Every single Senju that was placed on the market, in the past him and the Hidden Stone had placed a target on their head, especially for Tsunade, especially when they were dwindling out. After all, the thought of another Senju like Hoshiyama rising back terrified the other nations. But Ton no Kuni was near the Hidden Stone. The Raikage was not the one that put this bounty up, so Nikki must be behind it. 15 million, a big price. The reason being, the kid was becoming quite famous throughout the Elemental Nation. The Raikage doubt that his rank was B. As surprising as it might seem, there were shinobis out there that was young and very talented and powerful, but this kid, from the rumors that he's here, he has been given the name Superboy. He has a Jonin sensei, Yujeo Uzuki, as he's been apprenticeship under her. Seemingly that the two of them went into a literal coastal village and rescued the village from an entire Yakuza station there. The Yakuza, while not that powerful, they had the manpower, and a lot of it. And yet, none of them stood a chance. The people there praised the child and called him Superboy, because he was their hero. Not much is known about his actual other abilities, regarding ninjutsu or anything else. Well, when you think about it, his mother was Nede Senju. Perhaps, he mostly focused on strength just like her. But 15 million, that was still a high price. No doubt Oniki and several others out there wanted his child to go down. He was showing the standing to become something as great as Hoshirama Senju. So young and yet so powerful. As it got people worried around the Elemental Nation, and he was simply just a child. As they had no idea what is to come in the future for him. People wanted to make sure he did not live to see that long. The Raikage has not done anything regarding the child. Reason being his latest affiliation with Konoha was not that good. With a scandal between them and the Hyuga dealings, where they had tried to poach the little girl. But that ended up failing quite badly, and they were duped. They were given the branch member instead of Hayashi because he was his twin. And they failed there because the Byakugan got destroyed once he was killed. Because of the seal on his forehead. But this child, he was gonna have to keep an eye on him. What do you think, boss? As he glanced up towards Darue. Well, from the way he is growing, he can come to be something very dangerous. Maybe like his great-great-grandfather. There has been attempts on the boy's life already. Am I correct? Yes. Numerous to be exact. But all of them had either been sent in a body bag or sent back home, wherever they come from, broken. That is the only reason why they were able to gather so much intel on his skills, but yet they don't really gather that much. He's said to use pure, raw strength to overcome his opponents. Yes, as Raikage looked down towards the bottom, the enemies that he's defeated so far, there are quite some names on here. The War Beast, a man that was known for his strength, and his large amount of bandits that were following him. Aoi, mixing in from Konoha. The Iron Brothers from the Hidden Stone, two missing names as well. It seems like he kept on running into missing names on his missions. So what are we gonna do about this, boss? Are we just gonna watch this play out? The Raikage glanced towards the wall. The Chunin exams are coming up soon. I figure I'll see how things play out within Konoha, to see what he's truly capable of. You're gonna send a team, said Darue as he looked quite surprised. As it's been a long while since they have sent a team to Konoha. Yes, it's been a while. But I'm curious, so yes. I'll send a team to check it out. Exactly, to focus on this child. There's no doubt that they will have him be a part of the exam. I'm surprised that he has not yet get a field promotion given his strength. They're most likely gonna use him to promote Konoha's strength, boss. I mean, think about it. If you place him in the exam, and if the other kids are not quite adequate, he will demolish the program. Well, he can't be that invincible. Not to mention, I know exactly who I'm gonna send, the Raikage said with a smirk. Time skip. At the Hidden Leaf. It has been 6 months since Naruto became a genin along with the others. 6 months of people pushing themselves to their absolute limit. That included other genin teams. Since the humiliation that they got from Naruto at the first starting, including Neji. Yes, who believed in fate and did not believe that he should have lost. Neji had been throwing himself within training. Lee had almost killed himself now, 100 times by pushing himself too far. It was a surprise that his body was still going even after, almost breaking down several times. But he was determined to push through a springtime of youth and reach another level entirely. Tintin started to focus a bit more on her physical skills, realizing that her weapons has a huge disadvantage, but still she was still focusing more on her kinjutsu, as she wouldn't just abandon her talent. That is what she started with, and she would continue her growth in it. Shikamaru, while still lazy, was actually putting in a bit of work. Not that much because, well, it was Shikamaru. Choji was putting in some work as well. Even Ino was doing her thing. Everyone was trying to show that they were better, to get stronger after all. He simply tapped them on the forehead and they passed out. But they were not the only ones. Hinata Hyuga was shy. She was also putting in secret training as well. Kiba made it a promise to never lose like that ever again. And Shino, while you wouldn't see it, he was determined as well. Team 7, Sasuke now had 2 totem in his Sharingan, after going on the Land of Wave mission, when he faced off against a hunter named known as Haku. Mito had first used the power of the Kyuubi there, when she thought Sasuke had died, as she felt the rage and she had met the fox for the first time. The thing downright hated her. The seal that she had, it prevented the fox from even coming any close to corrupt her at all. The seal was powerful, and not to mention her Uzumaki lineage. It kept the fox back. But she realized that no one would be comfortable like that. Maybe she should try and talk to him, but it was hard to get in her mind's keep. She had to focus a lot, something that she wasn't keen on doing that much. But her mother was training her and Kakashi was training the team, so they were getting quite stronger. Sakura on the other hand was focusing mostly on her Banshee scream. If she used it too long, her throat dried up, and it became painful and she couldn't use it. But that didn't mean that she did not focus on her other arts, ninjutsu, taijutsu, and genjutsu as well. Her chakra was perfect for using genjutsu, and not to mention being closely with Naruto, close friends. Tsunade taught her a bit of medical ninjutsu, so the team was all around perfect. As for Naruto, he didn't have a team, but him and his sensei has gone on the most mission out of any of the other kids, and not just any mission. So far the others had just gone on C rank, and pure D ranks. However, Naruto has not went on 1 D rank so far. His mission record would blow the others' mind. At the moment though, in Team 7 training ground, Hayate was not liking the position that he was in. Ever since he met the kid didn't like him at all. Maybe he didn't hate him, but he definitely didn't like him. He was sure the reason was that the kid had a crush on his girlfriend, Yujeo. Yes, both of them were dating, Hayate and Yujeo. And ever since Yujeo introduced them, since Naruto and her had become closer friends over the past 6 months, as he told her his secret about who he really is. And it made a lot more sense now to her. But Hayate knew that the kid had a crush on his girlfriend. It should be adorable with him having a crush on his sensei, but that mean the kid did not like him one bit. Example, at the moment Naruto was just staring at him. As Naruto couldn't understand why was she with this guy. He seemed rather sickly, and he was always coughing. Not to mention, he wasn't nice or anything. Like, he wouldn't show up and bring her gifts. If it was him, he would have done that, as he didn't know what she saw in this guy. Hayate sighed, so what is it now? As Naruto looked at him, I'm just trying to find out what exactly does she like about you. Well, if you would get to know me, or the easier way, maybe you can just ask her. She won't tell me, said Naruto. At first I figured that she don't like you, given that she won't tell me, but that made no sense. Why would she be with you? Although, most people don't know about your relationship. Is it some kind of cover or something, with her past unviewed duties? And why would something like that last for so long? I don't know, said Naruto. I'm just trying to figure out something. It won't work between you two, Hayate said, knowing that he was literally telling another guy that, and trying to explain that he won't be able to date his girlfriend. But Naruto was level-headed, despite him having a crush. For one thing, the age. And besides, you're her student, and that is what she sees you as. As Naruto sighed, you're right, he said. Cheer up, he said. I mean, you're a decent kid. There's a lot of other girls your age within Konoha. Yeah, but none like Eugeo-sensei, said Naruto, as he seemed to be daydreaming. You know, that's my girlfriend, right? Hayate said. Yeah, I know, said Naruto. What's with the look, Hayate asked. Well, I was thinking about fighting you, but you look rather sick already, so I doubt that I should. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that, said Hayate. Why not, said Naruto. Because Eugeo warned me not to fight you. As Naruto shook his shoulders. But you're a Jonin. Are you afraid? Nah, not really. But I have heard the rumors going around. And you're not a normal kid. People say that you're a freak of nature. They say that your strength is even rather than your mother. Through the whole conversation, the man was coughing. Are you really sick? Or is this some trick to fool your opponents and lowering their guard? If it was, why would I tell you, he said as he coughed. Yeah, I guess you're right, said Naruto. As he got off the stone. And it's a good idea not to fight me, he said. As he smashed his fist in the stone, it obliterated into pieces. Hayate's eye twitched. So you are strong, he said. More than you know, said Naruto. You better take good care of her though, because if you hurt her, I'll be coming for you. Hayate chuckled at that as he coughed some more. Oh, you have nothing to worry about, he said. I can see that you do care about her, said Naruto. So you have my blessing. Hayate blinked in confusion. When did I ask for your blessing? And why are you here? Well, you have it, said Naruto. I'll be going now. As he jumped off. Well, that was a weird conversation, Hayate thought to himself. At least the kid didn't seem to hate him that much more. Well, Eugeo was having a good time being a sensei. He had been in the academy with her. All she ever wanted was to grow up and have her own family. She wanted a son or a daughter that she could call her own, a husband. He fell for her the first day that she introduced herself. He never thought that she would see him as someone remotely decent in her eyes, but she did. And they started to date. Well, even if the kid was trying to steal his girlfriend, Hayate was happy that he was that protective over her. But he wouldn't get her. But she liked hanging out and spending time with Naruto. It was practice for when they had their own child. As he chuckled to himself the thought of being a father, would he have weird conversations like this with his own son? As he walked off, time skip, Naruto was kind of bored. Its sensei had gave him the weekend off. The Chunin exams were going to start very soon, next week to be exact. Him and his sensei has gone on so much missions. He really hated to become a Chunin so soon, as he would have to depart from being on a team with her, and her being a Anvu before joining a team with him. That means she wouldn't be able to be there for any Chunin missions, and he wouldn't see her unless she come to visit or he visit her. He sighed as he wondered where the others were, as he was making his way to meet up with some of them, to see if they want to hang out. That is when he saw someone, as Naruto was struck by her beauty. She seemed to be around his age. Long flowing blonde hair that was tied up into 4 pieces. She had beautiful green eyes. She was wearing a cream, white dress, with a red obi around her waist, a battle dress, black sandals, and a war fan strapped on her back. The girl seemed looking at her, as she turned towards him. Wow, said Naruto, you're beautiful. Her cheeks became a bit red. So honest, she said. Hey, you lost? Naruto asked, seeing her looking around. My stupid brother. I don't know where the hell he went off to. As you can see, I'm not quite familiar with your village, as she pointed towards her headband. As Naruto noticed that she wasn't from Konoha. No wonder why he hadn't seen her around here before. Oh, you're here for the Chunin exams. As his sensei told him about that already. Yes, she said. Let me guess. You're gonna participate in it as well. As Naruto nodded. I'm looking for the Red Leaf Hotel. That is where I'm staying, she said. Oh, it's a few yards down there. Want me to walk you? She shrugged. Sure, she said. As Naruto walked alongside her. So, what's the hidden sand like? Never been there before. Well, It's hot and sandy, but it's a beautiful place. The cuisine here and at the Hidden Sand is completely different. If you visit one day, you will understand. Haven't had any missions there. Maybe I'll have one soon, said Naruto when I become a Chunin. You're quite confident, are you? She said. Well, if you're not, what's the point? Oh, by the way, I never introduced myself. Naruto Senju, nice to meet you. She took his hand. Temari. Sabuku no Temari, she said. Nice to meet you, Temari. That's a beautiful name, by the way. She giggled in her hand. Well, yours means fish cake. No, it means maelstrom, said Naruto. Although, I can get your confusion. Many people do confuse it for a fish cake. Well, it kind of does. Yeah, I guess it does, said Naruto. But it also means maelstrom. Yes, that too, she said. As they walked alongside each other and made small talk, she was surprised how kind he was being. She knew who exactly he was. That bastard conqueror did run off to somewhere, but the moment she saw his face, she knew who he was. As he was in the latest bingo book entry. It was rather surprising that someone was a genin and so young could already be in the bingo book as a B rank listing, and not to mention the bounty on his head was 15 million. A rather shocking price, but his lineage was the reason behind it. He was one of the few last remaining Senju, and not to mention a guy Senju. If any other nation were to capture him, they would try to use him to rebuild the Senju clan. As they arrived towards the hotel, well, we're here, said Naruto. She smiled. I'm sure that my brother will come here once he realizes. I've walked off. Well, he was the one that walked off first. Well, Naruto Senju, she said. Thank you for escorting me. It's quite the gentleman thing to do. Well, I am a gentleman, said Naruto. I hope we can meet again. Other than that, have a lovely day, Temari. Thank you, she said as she made her way inside. Wow, she's really cute, Naruto thought to himself as he kept on walking, hoping that he would see her again. That was until he stopped at the alley, when he heard someone talk. What is your interest with my sister? Naruto turned towards a person. As he tilted his head, the guy had red hair, the kanji for love on his forehead, as he had a strange gort on his back. Are you Temari's brother? Said Naruto. Yes. Now tell me, what is your interest in my sister? Well, she's really cute, said Naruto. She seems fun, and like a good person to hang out with. You don't have a problem with me talking to her, do you? As Naruto stepped forward, the guy stepped back at Naruto moving. Hey, what's wrong? I know you, said Gaara. I saw your picture in that book. What book? That small red book. Superboy. As Naruto scratched back his head. Can't believe that name is stuck with me, said Naruto. He remembers saving those people, and they decided giving that name and it seemed to just spread. He's Superman, not Superboy. Well, he was quite young, but still. He didn't want to be known as Superboy. So you read my bingo book entry? Yes. A lot of people want you dead, but so far none have succeeded. I wonder if I should be the one to succeed. Why would you want to kill me? The Sun and Konoha are allies. Not to mention, as you can see, we're not friends, but your sister is quite nice, and she doesn't seem to have a problem with me. So why with you when you just met me, said Naruto. Besides, I'm not a bad guy. And the other thing, I wouldn't allow you to kill me. Not that you could. Gaara tilted his head, a grin spreading across his face. You think, if I wish to end your life right now, I could not? Yeah, exactly, said Naruto. You know my moniker, but you don't exactly know who I am. But know this, whoever you are, I don't take these kind of threats lightly, especially ones on my life. So watch yourself. As Gaara stepped forward, me watching myself against you. You talk big and brave, but you don't know who I am. I am not someone to antagonize. You wouldn't live to regret it. Naruto raised a feet. The next moment he appeared in front of Gaara. Neither am I, he said as he looked Gaara directly in the eyes. Gaara was speechless, as he did not understand. How did he? Sand shot out of his gort, as it was so slow to react because Naruto's speed baffled the sand and Gaara. It then proceeded to wrap all around Naruto as he looked down. Gaara raised his hand. Gaara, stop! Naruto glanced up as he saw a guy. Half of his face was covered by a veil. Do not. Do what you plan on doing. Release him now. Gaara looked up towards Baki. You think you can tell me what to do? If you do this, your father will be quite upset with you. He will be downright furious. Is that what you want? Hey, what's going on here? A voice said as Naruto turned to see Mito and Sasuke and Sakura arriving. Naruto, said Sakura, as she saw the predicament that he was in. She narrowed her gaze dangerously towards Gaara. What are you doing? She said. As Gaara frowned. These people really believe they can tell him or question anyone what to do. He kills anyone that he likes. He feeds anyone blood to mother. Hey, release him. Now, said Mito. As Sakura seemed like she was about to scream to blast this guy away. Calm down, guys, said Naruto. I don't know what this guy's problem is. As Naruto looked down and started to breathe. Gaara watched as his sand turned into ice. Naruto flexed and shattered it. I suggest you be careful who you wrap up in your sand. I told you this before, but I don't take threats on my life lightly. Gaara looked around. You think you're friends? Just because they're here they can help you. Friends are weakness. Maybe I should show you that by eliminating all of them. Baki frowned as he knew exactly who that kid was. Gaara was doing this and just messing up everything. As he clenched his fists, Naruto paused. What did you just say? Gaara smirked. You heard me. Maybe I should tell them, and then you will understand. Naruto's hand started to flex, only for Sakura to step beside him, as she placed a hand on his shoulder. It's alright, she said, calm down. Let him try. It's not like we're gonna allow him to do what he pleases. But you know what will happen if you retaliate right now, she said. As Naruto's eyes were fixed on Gaara, who was smiling the entire time. As Baki stepped between them two, he gave Gaara a harsh glare, but the kid seemed to shrug it off. Sakura, on the other hand, noticed Naruto's hand twitch. If there was one thing that he wouldn't take was someone trying to harm his friends. And this guy didn't even know what he signed up for a moment ago. Trying to take on someone like Naruto of all people. This kid was just being plain stupid. As Gaara seemed to done have his fun. It was Naruto Senju. That was the name in the book. Gaara smiled as he turned his back. I will see you soon. Baki turned towards Naruto. As he bowed his head in apology. I apologize for my student. There is no need, said Naruto. As Baki looked up, he didn't know if it was a flash of a light, but he saw the kid's eye flash red for a second there. You heard him, said Naruto. He's gonna be in the exam as he started to walk off. The others following behind him. As Baki turned his gaze towards the retreating Gaara. As he clenched his fist once again, he almost just ruined the plan. That kid mother would not take anything that he did lightly. Just because he has the Shikaku doesn't mean that he was untouchable or unstoppable. Tsunade of the Saiyan was not someone to be trifled with. Meanwhile, that was going on. A man was running for his life. He was short. He had brown hair. He was wearing a lab coat as he ran. He ran as he was scared. You could see by the look on his face. As he glanced behind him, a lot of guards started to rush behind him. They had kunai, shurikens, and other weapons. He thought it would buy him some time until he heard the sound. It was like wind passing at incredible rate. He turned to see his guards all flat on the ground. The next thing he knew, he bumped into a child. The child could be no older than 15 or 14. He was in those range group. But he was tall for his age. He stood at 5 feet 8. He had silver hair. He had white eyes. That made it almost look like he was blind, but he was not. The man turned as he ran the other way. He rushed towards the opening until the child moved in front of him, with speed that seemed unreal. Can't you realize you won't get away from me? The child was wearing a full black suit. with red markings going through it, from head to toe. As the man turned as he tripped and fell over, dropping on his butt as he held onto the thing in his arm. Please, I can't. I need it. You've already messed up by screwing over Lord Orochimaru once. I assure you there's no second chance. Please, don't kill me. I will give you the child. Move. His hand vibrated at speeds that were irregular as he thrust it through the man's chest. He then ripped his arm back out as he picked up the scroll in the man's hand that he collapsed with when he was dead. The child then zooped out of the facility, literally blasting his way through. As he turned the corner, spinning, moving, his speed was not normal. Sometime later, Orochimaru was at a table, and there was a few things that he was looking at when the wind picked up as he had to hold everything down. He then looked up. How much time have I told you not to do that? As the child looked sheepish. I apologize, Lord Orochimaru, he said, but I got what you asked. Amaki. He was trying to steal what you said, but I found him. Here. Orochimaru took the scroll. Good. You did very well, Zoom, he said. I am sure that you must be exhausted from your little run. Why don't you go and have something to eat and relax? When I need you, I will call you. As Zoom nodded as he left the room, Orochimaru smiled to himself. Over the years since the invasion, the meteor invasion on the elemental nation, he has gathered a lot of forces with exceptional abilities. That child, which he nicknamed Zoom, because the child did not know his name, to be exact. He was in one of the unfortunate accidents with a meteor. It had killed his parents because when Orochimaru arrived, the child had been none other than an orphan walking around confused, not knowing of his past. Orochimaru was able to gather details and find out who he was, but he took the child in as his own and treated him as a subordinate of his. While the child did fear him knowing that his power was great, he also respected him as well, and thus Orochimaru was able to gain his loyalty. So to know that he wouldn't betray him, the meteor seemed to have gave him exceptional speed. Against a Chunin or a Genin, he was something that he can't even deal with. He would be having a hard issue fighting some elite Jonins, or maybe some other elites, but still, against less weaker opponents, he was unstoppable. So far, Orochimaru was using him to the best of his abilities to get things in a far long distance. But with such speed, he always had to eat a large portion, otherwise he would burn himself out. As he was one of his few gifted children that he had came across. There were more, but for now, Orochimaru was in planning to bring Konoha down to its knees, with the hidden sand as aid, as he chuckled to himself. Time skip. Sakura, Sasuke, and Mito sat at the table, including Tsunade as well, and Shizune, as they were all waiting on their lunch. What's going on? I'm hungry, the voice of Mito said. Well then go and do it yourself, a voice replied to her. She stuck her tongue out, meaning, you know, you should be the one cooking. As the adult in the situation, Sakura said, as she looked towards Tsunade. I'm just not feeling up to it, said Tsunade as she folded her arms. Are you sure that's the reason, Sakura asked? As Tsunade eye twitched. What are you trying to say, brat? Oh, nothing really, Sakura said. As Tsunade looked towards the girl, she was quite a thoughtful one. It was a good thing that she was good friends with her little baby boy, otherwise she would have punched her a long time ago. She was thoughtful, but she was also a bit too thoughtful. The thing was, Tsunade could not cook, as Jiraiya would always call her cooking how would you say it? A beast from hell. But they were lucky that he had a chef in the family, and said chef came around the corner with 2 copies of himself, carrying the plates. Bon appetit, he said as he placed down everything. The group eyes went wide and even Sasuke as well. If there was one thing that he could say with complete 100%, Naruto was the best cook in the entire house. As Naruto glanced around, where's Kushina? Mom was called away to the barrier unit about some information. As he turned towards Mito. Huh? I'm not sure, but she said she will be back very soon. Alright. I'll just keep it until she returns, said Naruto. She can warm it up when she get back. As Naruto watched as he started again. He didn't know why he liked cooking, but he just liked it. Maybe he was trying new recipes. Well, sometimes that was not good after all. He almost poisoned all of them by accident when trying a few new food. But at least all of them came out of it good and well. And not to mention he loved to taste his own cooking, to see how much he has improved. Amazing as always, Naruto-kun, said Shizune. Thanks, he said, a smile on his face. As he was about to sit down, there was someone at the gate. He sighed. I'll check it out, he said, seeing that neither of them wanted to move from the plates. Gluttonous, he said to himself. But Tsunade heard him. It's your fault. Who told you to cook this damn good, she said. He shook his head and chuckled to himself as he made his way. He was surprised to see that it was Temari, he said, as she stood there with a smile on her face. As he stepped out, I heard that my brother and you got into a bit of trouble. I'm just here to apologize on his behalf. You shouldn't be the one apologizing, said Naruto. The guy was intense for no reason at all. Yeah, he can be that way. But trust me, if you're hoping for an apology from him, you're not gonna get it. I'm really sorry, she said. But why, said Naruto. Why did he seem to hate me for no reason? He's just always been like that. And besides, you did a good service in showing me the hotel, so I figure I can come and show my gratitude and apologizing, she said. Well, it's alright, said Naruto. It's lunchtime. You wanna... Oh, thanks for the offer, she said. But I'm fine. And besides, I have an important meeting with my team, she said. So, I guess I'll see you soon. Yeah, see you soon, said Naruto. She left. Temari didn't know why she was feeling this way. In the hidden sand, she's never felt this way about a guy before. That she just knew. Maybe she just was interested in him. Maybe because of the reports that she saw. She didn't know. But he was also cute as well. And not to mention nice. But as she thought about what was going to happen very soon, she shouldn't be trying to make friends here. But yet she still came here, knowing that was something rather stupid to do. As she made her way back towards the hotel, Gaara almost got them into a lot of trouble. She had to make sure that everything was calm. And Naruto was nice enough to take her apology. It seems like he did not tell his mother about what happened. Otherwise things would not be as calm as they are right now. But that was good. Time skip. So this is Konoha, huh? A blonde said as she looked over the village. It seems that way. Another blonde was to her side. There was a boy standing here. Next to their left, he had grey hair. As he glanced over the village, it doesn't look all that special. The climate down here is quite off-putting, if I must say. Well, given the fact that you live in Kumo for the majority of your life, should you be that surprised? The blonde girl asked beside him. Her voice was unnaturally cool and calm. She's right. Of course it would be different, you idiot, she said. What? I'm merely making an observation. Well, make stupid observation and you will be called an idiot. He sighed. He can never win. As he looked towards his teammates, Yujito and Samui, him on the other hand, his name was Raiden. They were all proud Kumo ninjas, ready to show up these Konoha ninjas. I wonder where that Naruto kid is. I really want to see what all the hype is about. We don't know the full capability of what he is capable of yet, so don't go and make trouble, said Samui. Come on, you know I won't. I just want to see him for myself. I mean, he is the one that everyone is talking about nowadays. Well, in a smaller population if you must say, but still, a genuine to make himself in the bingo book 15 million Ryu base. That hasn't happened in a long while. And that is when the clan kids were growing up. Before our time. His mother is Nede Senju. So there's a reason why the other nations are worried. Not to mention his growth so early. If you don't understand that, then I don't know how to tell you anything else, she said. I understand, of course. I'm just curious, come on. I mean, I haven't seen it for myself. When I do, then I can make a proper assumption for myself. As Samui simply shrugged. Cool, do what you have to do, she said. Come on, Yujito, you understand me, right? As the both of them turned, she was gone. They sighed. She was always like this. As they made their way down, time skip. At the fire capital, a man with a rather large hat on his head, with the fire symbol on it. He seemed to be in his late 50s. As he had a smile on his face, as he watched his precious granddaughter come towards him. Gigi, she said. She seemed to be around 13 to 14 years old. As she had black hair and small green eyes. She was wearing a royal kimono as she stepped towards him. May I please accompany you to Konoha, so I can take witness in the Chunin exams as well? As he had his fan in front of his face. You know how dangerous it is. I know, but all of the guards will be there. And the Konoha ninjas will not let anything happen to us. Please, may I come, she asks. He sighed. You just want to see this new rise in Senju. Is that not the reason? As she looked away. Well, I am curious to see exactly and see what the hype is about, she said. Please, can I come, she said. Alright, fine. I will speak to your mother. But, if you do come with me, there will be no running away, and no pulling any of her little stunts, he said to her. Knowing that she was quite famous for doing that, I promised to be on the best of my behavior. As he gave her a weary look, knowing that sometimes she lies, especially to him as well, because she is like a princess. The child that can do no wrong. Ever since she heard about this new Senju, Naruto Senju, as she saw his picture in the bingo book that she somehow got from who knows where, she was quite prominent to think that he will be in the finals. They were just going there a month time to see what Konoha had to offer. They were already given the itinerary from the Hokage. Time skip. It was finally the day as Naruto, along with Team 7, arrived. As they glanced over the academy, he looked towards the team as he spoke to each of the members. Sakura was confident that she was ready. Sasuke would not turn on this challenge. Mito was also feeling excited about taking this challenge on. Ever since her fight with Zabuza and Haku on the bridge, well, she had got her Nindo. She had it, but it was further increased. She would never allow anything to happen to her precious people no matter what. In the end, Haku was safe. Zabuza almost died in the process, but Sakura was the big ending point in the final say. The girl had released a scream that literally got to an all of his friends off the bridge, saving them from dying, because if she had not, Zabuza would have surely fell. And Haku as well. Haku did not deserve that. She was just a kind girl. Mito had no idea where they went. But she made a vow, and they also promised that they will see each other again. And that had only increased her resolve. With that, they moved towards the academy, going inside as they arrived to the second floor. As something was wrong. As Sakura noticed instantly. Again, jutsu, she said, as she glanced towards the two people there. It was then that someone was thrown back. I said, "You guys are not ready for this exam," the two boys at the door said, as Lee was the one on the ground. Naruto was surprised. As he saw Lee eyes saw Naruto. They started burning with flames and he rushed, appearing in front of Naruto in a quick burst. "Naruto-kun," he said as he grabbed Naruto's arms. "I have been looking forward to our fight ever since our other sparring match that we had just recently. I wanted to prove my flame of youth. As Naruto sighed, now he understood how Kakashi felt. Just like Guy, Lee kept on hunting him down, time after time to test him. As Naruto always decided to just give in to the fight. That was his mistake because Lee did not stop. He hunted him like a wild animal. Always following behind him, always fighting him. Whenever he wanted to spar, Lee was there. Yeah, said Naruto. But as you can see, we have an exam to do, so we'll have to give it a break. Yes. But as soon as this exam is over, I think we should explore ourselves in our springtime of youth. Yeah, said Naruto. He's at it again, huh? As Naruto looked to see Tenten. Yeah. Well, it's your fault I told you not to get him riled up. As Naruto chuckled nervously. As Lee went off to talk to the others. As they cringed when he started to speak about springtime of youth. So what's going on? This is the Genjutsu, said Naruto. Why are you guys here? Propaganda, said Tenten. Trying not to make people know how strong we really are, she said. I see Neji is still an ass as usual, said Naruto as he glanced towards Neji. The guy was already giving him a stink eye. Yeah, he really doesn't like you at all, said Tenten. Yeah, figures, said Naruto. As he got to his feet. Alright then, let's move out. As the group started to make their way. As Naruto noticed someone. A girl, she was looking at him. She was also blonde like Temari, but her eyes, they reminded him of a cat. She had a mischievous smirk on her face. As she just watched him carefully. She then proceeded to lick her lips. As Naruto blinked in surprise. Was that towards him? He thought to himself. As she stepped in the room though. Before the teams could enter, Naruto saw his sensei as he walked over towards her. As Team 7 went towards Kakashi, who gave Naruto a nod as he nodded back, knowing the man quite well. Yujiro sensei are here, said Naruto. Of course, she said, as she placed a hand on his shoulder. Did you really think that I would miss out on an opportunity? To wish you good luck, she said with a smile. As Naruto smiled back. You've grown so much, Naruto. And beyond this point, I am glad to call you a comrade, she said. As Naruto beamed at that praise. Although it was a bit saddening that he wouldn't be her student, but he would be a comrade of hers. But still, she said as she ruffled his hair, you'll still be my student. And could you stop glaring at Hayate? I told you before, he's a good guy, and he cares about me. So stop glaring at him like that whenever you see him, alright? Alright, I'm sorry, said Naruto. Alright. Now make me proud, she said. Although I know you will. As she pinched his cheek before walking off. Of course, he will make her proud, he thought to himself as he made his way inside of said room. Upon stepping in, everyone turned their gaze towards him. Recognition seemed to come across some of their faces, but he didn't really pay attention though. In the far corner, there was a Jenny from the grass. As she was smiling, there he was. The child that she was looking for. His name was all over in the bingo books. A Jenny to have a 15 million Ryu on his head. Not just for strength alone though, but for his affiliation. The thing was, he never knew that his teammate had a child. As he was curious to know who was the father, it didn't seem to be Jiraiya, so he was not too keenly on that information. But whoever it was, they didn't seem to be in the picture. But he was curious too. Was the child infected by the green meteorites, like the others that he came across, for him to possess such incredible strength, or was he just strong because of Snatty? He did not know, but he intended to find out. These promising childs that you were finding, he was gonna use their blood to further enhance himself. And this one is a gold ticket. He chuckled to himself as he extended his ridiculously long tongue. As he smiled, taking his persona as a female as he remained in the class, oblivious to all what his real identity was. Meanwhile, that was going on. The strange pod that had crashed out in the middle of nowhere when Naruto had also landed in the elemental nation. That strange pod that released that black goo. The goo from underneath the ground started to glow. As it seemed to be in some kind of hibernation, some kind of process. Whatever it was nothing good. As it seemed to reek of death, reek of destruction, reek of doom. Meanwhile, that was going on. Space was a very strange place. with things that some can't even comprehend. Black holes were one of these things, as it was a black hole far in the distance. But it was not what it was made up of. It was what was inside of it that counted. A spaceship, similar to the one that Naruto came in, but larger, as there was someone inside. But guys, if you ain't subscribed right here, if you want the next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to get posted. Remember, share all of your friends and social media platform. But I'm off for now, see you guys soon. Peace.